From Strike Zone at Sunset Station, we're back for the Scratch Division title match of the 2012 Touring Players Championship, and we should have a good one here. The king of our tour, Kyle King, going El Lofto mode in the third frame here.
He's hitting it too hard.
No one in the junior ranks is better at it, and yep, as Evan said in the background there, hit up on that a pinch, and Kyle will be the first to tell you that he did on that shot. Leaves the 3 tenets in the third frame. If he spares it up, he'll still have a 1-pin lead over Jakob Butturff.
I think he walked back telling himself he's not going to do that shot.
Boy, makes the 310 like it was a 5-pin. Yeah, Kyle is as good as they come at doing that, standing in front of the ball return, lofting it. Doesn't bother him at all. He's great at it. That said, we've always talked about in the videos that Kyle is better at making big moves and analyzing his own game better than anyone I've ever seen on the junior level. And I like what Evan's thinking. He'll make a decision whether to stay with that loft or to ball down and power down and go back right on that lane. We'll be interested to see what happens. Stays deep on this lane.
Oh, he moved. And
no, and trips up everything. King with, I believe, well, he's in the upper 50s in number of JBT titles. I don't want to get it wrong. I usually do. It's nearing 60 career JBT titles. These guys are playing for $2,000 for first place and $1,000 for the runner-up. Jakob is better than anybody else on tour at beating the big names by throwing shots like that. He absolutely has Zakatori's number, and he does well against Cameron, and he does well against Kyle too. It's a sign of a great mental toughness, and to not call him a big name is doing him a disservice at this point too, as he's had one of the quieter great resumes ever since last summer when he busted onto the scene by finishing top 16 in junior gold and made the finals of TPC last year as well. Had an excellent season all year long with us. He likes that one. 10 in the pit. Las Vegas native, totally comfortable in this bowling center. Completely unafraid of bowling the big one. You know, that happens so often. As great as Kyle and Cameron, those kind of bowlers are, they are sometimes handed titles because the bowler gets nervous playing Kyle King.
Yep.
You're not playing Kyle King, you're playing the bowling pins, and he's going to stick in front of the ball return. He definitely wants to focus on being less grabby on it, though.
He moved like 3 boards up in, remember?
Oh. See, and when that ball double dribbles like that, it's hard to get the rotation on it that you want. And it sounds oxymoronic that you have to launch the ball or else you're going to throw it in the left gutter, but you still have to not grab it. And that's an incredibly fine line. It takes a lot of talent to do. And there are some lanes throughout bowling centers where it won't work. You'll get double dribbles, it'll just check early.
No, they're on it.
Yes. These guys are bowling on Winding Road. The handicap division bowled on Middle Road, which is a softer version of that, higher ratio. He has not scored well on this pair, if memory serves me right. I believe this is the 3rd time he's been on this pair. He was only on the position round. Didn't have a great game. He had already had the top seed locked up by that point, though. And I believe he was on this pair one other time and didn't have a huge number either. I completely think that was a mental re-rack, Evan.
I think so too. Right, he's got the left one, the right lane. He's having either trouble at the foul line, or he's I don't know, he's doing something with his hand, like he's trying to push it out, like maybe towards 65. He's just not getting it out as far as he wants to.
Boy, and same thing happened to Tanner on that lane, the key situation. Off his hand, he liked that. He was ready to run that out again. And Tanner had a key shot on that lane, and it checked 5 feet before he wanted it to as well. Nonetheless, he's within 12 pins if he can spare up this 3-6-10. No spare is easy, even if you're Kyle King in the 6th frame of a TPC. Spared a 3-10 earlier in this match with ease, but you don't want to keep leaving these cluster spares.
Worst one.
No trouble at all at it, though.
He told me he was going to teach me how to pick that up.
Yeah, I hate those two. Great turnout at the TPC all weekend long. 123 bowlers from 5 conferences and 9 states. Great job hosting, as always, by the Sunset Station crew. Richard Peters and his whole crew here.
Banquet was a success.
A spectacular banquet. The best bowling banquet in world history. I said it. I don't care, that sounds arrogant. It was phenomenal. Boy, that was a huge strike if it had fallen for Jakob.
It would have been a huge 6-8.
I don't remember any of our scratch TPC title matches really being big score fests. The money's nice, but these kids have bowled for a lot more money than this at this stage in their careers. It is about the prestige. This is an extremely prestigious title.
Scores were absolutely huge in games 6 and 7.
Yeah,
Game 8, it changed like.
Well, that often happens on these sport-type patterns. It takes a little while to carve a hole into them, but especially when it's only the scratch bowlers and they play them right, they can essentially turn any shot into a house shot. They create friction to the out and hold inside, and that's what they did, highlighted by a 300 to 286 match. Eric Hatchett shooting to 3 and Chase Nadeau shooting to 286 earlier today. But that said, the match before that, Tanner was involved in a 149 to 148 match. So it's a matter of setting the lanes up to transition right, nailing the stuffing out of them when you do hit them correctly, and then surviving once they break down. And usually by a title match like we heard too, we're starting to see a little breakdown.
There it was right
Yep.
there. That's what he needed to do. He needs to knock it off.
Yep. Good move. That was what we were expecting
That's
to
what I
happen.
thought he was going to do in the fourth, though.
I think he wanted to just give it one more try. He just thought he could physically throw it better.
Gotta listen to himself.
Yeah. So I think you're starting to see them get squirrelier again, and just the pressure of the prestige. This is one win that anybody who ever bowls JBT wants in their collection. King's one asterisk on his ridiculous JBT resume is he hadn't won a major until he won main event 2 years ago. He had something like 40 some odd titles without a major. Nope, this year's SoCal Invitational he won was the first Invitational he ever won. Invitational's more understandable because there's a luck factor in the triple elimination, but just astonishing that he hadn't won any majors. He's just a cut above. There is so much talent at the top here. And again with the check.
Got ball down or gotta do, I don't know.
Boy, oh boy. Well, I complimented him earlier saying no one knows more tricks of his own game than Kyle Kane, but he's going to have to pull one out of the bag here in the 10th frame. Yes, frames are swiftly running out. The best he can do is 214. Jakob at a 208 pace and lurking again with a strike up on his next shot. You want to stay tuned and see who wins this. Watch our fourth and final part.